Hi, everyone. On the other side, I'm Commissioner Niagara. I'm Chair of ANC 2G. We're going to start our October meeting. Welcome. And I have the agenda. Stephen, I can flash it real quick. Or you have it up? Okay, I'll do it. Me, you, me, you. All right. There's the agenda, and this is what we're talking about. You have any questions?
Move to approve.
Okay. Have a second? Do you have a question, Stephen?
No, I'm seconding.
Okay, Stephen says all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 500. And for just saying out loud, for our recording secretary, that Commissioner Watkins will be absent for the meeting. So we have a quorum of 5. I'm sorry, 4.
You're
No.
gonna do roll call?
It's very tired. Okay. 2G01,
Present.
2G02,
Present.
2G03. I'm not absent. 2G04,
Present.
2G05.
Present.
I think we have to vote. I didn't do the roll. Was that? Do I have to do that again, Al? Do you have to vote again? No. No. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Okay, is anyone from the police on the other side? No.
It doesn't look like it.
It's gonna be a quick meeting, that's all right. Okay, we apologize, the police aren't here. Everyone was sent the agenda and the link, so. And we have a new captain. So just to let you know, Captain Roth is now gone. So I got a note from him when he got the agenda and all that, and I was like, okay, there's that. All right, so the police are not here for now. We can check back later. And let's go to Ty first from the mayor's office.
Is being moved over.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all and get through my presentation as soon as possible because I want to be mindful of everyone's time. Can everyone see my screen okay? Wonderful. And just to start off, I just wanted to say it was a great pleasure to see some of you all at Open Streets this past Saturday. I had a great time running into our community members, even our agency partners. So thank you all for making that a memorable experience, not only for myself, but for the community as well. For those who may not be familiar with who I am yet, my name is Ty. I'm the Ward 2 manager with the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. My primary role and responsibility is to identify and address constituent concerns within Ward 2, and that's for the residents and businesses. So I provided my contact information on the right-hand side for your use. If you would like to invite the mayor to an upcoming engagement, I provided the link to the request form. This PowerPoint this Canva presentation will be provided with Chair Nigro at the end so that you all have access to this information also. And if you haven't done so already, I do highly encourage you all to sign up for the mayor's newsletter, which goes out every Friday. And if you have family or friends who live outside of Ward 2, please make sure that you connect them with the appropriate ward manager, which can be found on the left-hand side. We do have 2 representatives for each ward. Right now, as you all are aware, I'm still riding solo, but we had a very promising interview earlier this week. So it is possible that I'll have a co-partner within the coming 3 to 4 weeks. So thank you all for your continued patience. Hopefully we don't have to wait much longer. As many of you know, I've been holding it down for the past almost 4 months by myself. So I can't thank you enough again for your patience and your grace. I wrapped up my day today at the hub. This is an opportunity for residents to walk in, to meet not only myself, but also to communicate and connect with some of our partnering agencies so that they can have their issues or concerns addressed right on in real time. I'm typically there Thursdays from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you know someone who's in the area who wants to stop by to visit or, would like any answers to their questions, I do encourage you all to guide them to the Chinatown Hub. The 311 app, this is a resource that I highly encourage you all to take, use of. They recently went through a refresh. Below are just some of the many issues or concerns that you can go ahead and address through the 311 app. It provides you real-time kind of reference in terms of when that issue or concern will be addressed. If you're finding out that after submitting a 311 request is not working well in your favor, please do follow up with me so I can connect accordingly with the appropriate agency. And just want to share some resources here with you all. MPD, they are looking to hire and recruit, but even also outside of DC. So if you know anybody who may be interested, again, this PowerPoint presentation will be shared. The link is below for more information. On October 30th at MLK Library, there will be a disability career fair. I will be there, and I hope that you pass along this information to anyone who this may benefit from. This will be a great opportunity to celebrate National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and also to share different resources and opportunities that are available to our community. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I did provide our hotline number information provided. So if you or someone you know is in need of assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. This information is also anonymous. So again, definitely, especially mental health awareness as well. So the opportunity for you all to share this information again for those who may be in need. October is also Earthquake Preparedness Month. I provided some helpful tips and resources to help you and your family prepare just so that you're ready so you don't have to get ready in the event that there's an earthquake that may come your way or our way. This Saturday, there will be an opportunity to properly recycle your electronics. So please join us between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be on Pennsylvania Avenue between 19th and 20th Street. And again, this is an opportunity for you all to properly recycle your electronics. And we want to make sure that our students, families, and communities are healthy. So I provided the appropriate health forms for you all to take a look at so that you all can extend to the appropriate members within the community and or your family. Leaf season. So I know Georgetown is a big area of concern, specifically for leaf season, and I was told that parts of Shaw. So leaf season will begin on October 28th. If there are any specific hot spot areas in Shaw or within 2G in itself that need extra attention or oftentimes are being left out, please flag that my way so I can reach out to DPW to make sure that we have extra set of eyes on those specific areas. So if there are specific intersections that are commonly left out, unfortunately, please let me know as I would like to make sure that information is flagged. I do encourage you all to visit DPW's website. They do have the leaf tracker there also for your view. Very helpful information and resource on that on their website. So please, when you get a chance, take a look at what they have to offer. And just some announcements. Last week, the mayor conducted a meeting alongside Councilmember Mendelson. And I believe council will share some more information on this as well in regards to affordable housing. Um, the emergency rental assistance program is no longer reliably helping people who are in need, low income residents and those facing emergencies. So if you did not have the opportunity to be present or see the live footage of this meeting, I provided the full PowerPoint presentation slides for your view with the link below. And the mayor has highlighted the investments to include in her fiscal 2025 Fair Shop budget. And that budget will represent opportunities for economic development, the importance of public safety, education, and a revitalization of downtown. So I have provided that information where it goes fully in depth of where those investments and money's going towards in that upcoming budget. And we are wrapping up Theater Week. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to go to Woolly Mammoth to watch one of their phenomenal shows. If you haven't done so already, I do encourage you to check out some of the upcoming events that are made available to support our local artists and also our theaters in the area. The Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs, in partnership with the Departments of Licensing and Consumer Protection, will be conducting their second session on October 22nd. And they will guide you through every step to get your basic business license. So if you are interested in the opportunity of starting a business, this will be a very resourceful session for you to attend. Earlier today, there was an estate planning workshop. On Saturday, the 19th, there will be a Kids Eurofest, an opportunity for us to immerse in the European culture. There's going to be different workshops, activities. It's going to be a fun-filled day for the community. And I hope you all can join us. And there is an upcoming Fall Fun Day in Mitchell Park on the 27th, and also our highly anticipated High Hill Race coming up on the 29th. Director Bowes Director Bowes presented yesterday at ANC 2B's meeting in preparation for this event. Hope you all can attend the upcoming and anticipated event on the 29th. And here is a cheat sheet of some of the agencies that I'm commonly in communication with on a daily to weekly basis. If there's an agency on here that's not, or there's an agency that you're looking to connect with that's not on here, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I will make that connection for you. And I'm sure hopefully we'll have MPD join us at this time. Just wanted to say that as a whole, at least year to date, crime overall has gone down at least 30%. I know MPD will provide a more detailed overview of what that looks like in terms of the public safety in 2G. But this is just overall within the year to date. And we'll go ahead and skip through this because I'll provide this information over to Chair Nigro. And yeah, that will pretty much wrap up my presentation for this evening. Please follow us on social media, on Instagram, and definitely Twitter and X, just to find out, what's coming up, information that's going to be available to the community. And that will complete my presentation for today.
Great, fabulous. So I have a couple questions. So well, actually, I do a comment. I don't think on your slide that you have Dion for Department of Building. I think she moved to a different position.
So
My-
she is one of my point of contacts for Department of Buildings. She is still there. And I may not have had her on the slide, but I do connect with her as well. And that
No,
actually,
but she was on the slide.
okay, good. So yeah, she is still with Department of Buildings.
But is she the same role? I think it's someone else. Am I
I-
wrong?
I can't speak to maybe what her previous role was. I know she is a point of contact for some of our other wards also, in addition to wards.
Okay.
But I could definitely look into that for you.
No, that's all right. I can figure it. Don't worry about it.
But-
So, and my next question is about the hub down in Chinatown. So
Yes.
how do you measure the success of that?
I will
How's that
direct,
measured?
I will direct that question to the Director of Operations in regards to see how that success rate is measured. I can say since I've been there, walk-ins haven't increased. I can say that there is additional community members getting services from some of the agencies that are there. But that's a very good question in terms of how it's being measured. So I'll go ahead and pose that question to the Director of Operations who oversees the hub, to get some more insight to see how, as a whole, they're looking to quantify, that specific success rate.
And my last question is for the ERAP program, which is, it just sounds like it's just been a nightmare forever, right? But whose fault is that? When you said it doesn't, I think your phrase was it doesn't run well or whatever you said. Well, whose fault is that?
Well, I know the council, they're going to provide some additional information in regards to overall legislative ties to it. So I'd probably leave that to them to answer that specific question. I know pretty much, kind of in a nutshell, unfortunately, the system or the program has been taken advantage of, unfortunately, which has taken away from the opportunity for those that are actually in need for it. Um, so
Okay,
yeah,
so we're talking about millions of dollars.
correct.
And whatever problem has been throughout the years, it's run out of money, mismanagement.
Of course.
This is a management problem. So why is no one managing this? I mean, this is insane when I've been hearing about this on the news. And we have residents throughout the ANC that would depend on those funds. I mean, it's crazy.
Absolutely. No, I
Well,
definitely
then
understand your
who is
frustrations
it?
and your concerns. I'll take that question, and jot it down and I'll come back to you.
Well,
You know,
so because in real life, in the corporate world, people would be fired.
understood.
But I don't think people understand that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
People
I
will
know
lose
that,
their home. I mean, it's crazy.
yeah. No, and I definitely understand your frustration, and I'm hopeful that the part in which the council will share will be, helpful to that. But I will circle back with you with that specific topic.
Okay.
And
All right. I see Tony's hands up.
Yes, good evening, Ty.
good
Quick
evening.
question.
Of course.
In light of there being so many road projects going on, and we're right here at the collection time, is there going to be any type of special treatment for those streets? Because some of them are long-term projects, and if the usual method of them going up and down the streets and doing the raking and the vacuuming, I believe that's not going to work on all streets. Is there going to be any type of special emphasis or treatment for those streets that projects are going on?
I'll make note of that and I'll pass that on to my colleague for DDOT and also with DPW in collaboration, especially with those ongoing projects. I know leaf collection is a very important assistance that is provided. And I know they want to make sure that they stay firm to schedule depending on the weather, but we also want to make sure that that's not also being delayed due to any type of projects also. So let me connect with DPW and DDOT along that specific comment that you've raised, and I can circle back with you on that.
All right, I have another question. Going
Thank
back to Tony's Leaf. So is that Leaf app going to work this year? Or is it just my single member district that doesn't work? You know what I'm talking about, Ty? I know you don't talk about. There's app and it shows like the map and
Of
everything.
course.
And I feel
Yeah.
like my single member district just is forgotten.
So I will say, so we did a briefing earlier this week. The team DPW is excited about making sure that the app in itself is as user friendly as possible. If there are any issues or concerns with using it, please flag as soon as possible. I want to make sure that's addressed and brought to their attention. I know there's an emphasis on this being again a user friendly app so that you all can pinpoint exactly when your area has been swept or if it's missed and when they'll circle back to get it. And so if it's not doing exactly just that, I strongly encourage you to flag that and bring that to my attention so we can make sure that's escalated.
Great. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions for Ty, commissioners? Commissioner Barry?
Hi, Ty.
Evening.
I was wondering, what do residents do in the meantime if they need that emergency rental assistance? Is there another program that they could go to? And what is the time frame for the new program, well, for it to be revived for residents?
I would say, let me take down that information. I don't have specific, kind of a timeline on when that's expected. I'll do a little bit more digging around specifically that. If you wouldn't mind, I'd greatly appreciate if you could send me an email so I can circle back with appropriate agency to see if there's just additional talking points that are available, and then also additional resources for those that this may be heavily impacting.
Okay. But is there an agency that they can go to in the meantime? I mean, if they can't do that, where they can get assistance or something to that degree, even maybe if it's not a full rental, is there anything like that out there?
I would say I know across the board, things are tight. Full transparency in regards to the resources being provided. Depending on specifically what's needed, I think that would determine based off what agency that they can reach out to extend or receive some type of resources. So whether that's being DCHA, DHCD. I think it's going to be dependent on the nature of what issues or concerns that specific resident is dealing with and seeing how we can work towards accommodating and finding a solution for them. I would say each case is different, and it tends to be a case by case scenario. So if there is a specific resident that you are aware of, please let me know. If you can flag that to me, send me an email so that I can just kind of appropriately investigate that and make sure that's connected to the appropriate agency.
Will do. I'll send an email for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be on the lookout for that. And I did want to address one thing, Commissioner McCartney. I know we've been in communication in regards to that private parking lots. I flagged that to DPW. It's going to be more so a collaboration effort, just due to the nature of it being a private property. But I want to let you know that it has been flagged, and my goal is to make sure that we can get some movement on it by next week. So I'll keep you posted on that specific private property location, and circle back with you on that. But thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Ty.
No problem.
Okay. Anyone else before we move to the audience? No? Okay, anyone on the audience side would like to talk to Ty, our wonderful mayor's liaison for Ward 2, holding down the fort for a very long time now? I see you, Inspector Davis. Do you have a question for Ty? Otherwise, you can speak separately. Inspector Davis, do you have a question for Ty?
No, I just I can respond to some of those questions y'all had, so I can wait till.
Okay, hang tight then.
Right.
Hang tight. We'll just leave you over here, okay?
Right.
All right, Ty, I don't see any questions for you. We'll see you soon then.
Thank you all.
Okay, great. Okay, we'll have Brian up next from Councilmember Pinto's office.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can I join as a panelist?
Oh, what happened?
Sorry.
We can't hear you.
Test. I'm
Mr.
here.
McCarty, stop talking to himself.
Oh, sorry. I have to move you back really quick
Go
to
ahead. Yep.
make this work. Okay, he's coming over.
Okay, great.
Okay. Hey, can you see me and hear me now?
Yep.
I feel like I'm a commercial for a cell phone company. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Good to be with you. We had a great time seeing folks in the neighborhood recently at Art All Night and 7th Street Open Streets. Last week, Councilmember Pinto held the first of 3 oversight hearings this fall on the Office of Unified Communications, which, as we've talked about, is our 911 call center. And then this week, she held a hearing on the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, sometimes known as the ONCE office, for our violence interruption programs. I'm going to post a link in the chat with her takeaways from this week's hearing. She and our staff are also conducting unannounced visits of OUC, and she visited late night a few weekends ago to see the overnight weekend shift staffing levels, which were not at an acceptable level. The roundtable on OUC last week was focused on recent operational failures and incidents over the summer. The next OUC hearing will be on October 23rd and is going to focus on performance and transparency metrics. And then the third hearing later this fall is going to focus on technology and multi-agency coordination. Councilmember Pinto also announced a new bill that provides child care for OUC workers and first responders, which we know is a challenge in any job, but especially in these roles that require overnight and often overtime work. Councilmember Pinto also recently introduced two bills of note. The first is something that we talked about when the budget passed last year or last spring. So the fiscal year 2025 budget included taxing out-of-state municipal bonds, including any bonds that were purchased in the past. We heard from a lot of residents, including seniors, who had purchased these bonds as part of their retirement plans with the assumption and promise that they were tax exempt. So Councilmember Pinto, Fruman, and Henderson, their new bill would exclude the taxation of out-of-state municipal bonds that were acquired prior to this coming January 1st, 2025, so that anyone that was purchasing or purchased those bonds will still not be taxed as they thought they wouldn't be. The second bill is for a hygiene and laundry access pilot program, which aims to give better access to shower and laundry facilities for our neighbors experiencing housing instability or homelessness. This bill would provide grants to organizations to either manage or purchase public shower and laundry facilities that will be on private property, and need to include staffing to keep these facilities secure, and hygiene and laundry supplies like soap, shampoo, and detergent would also need to be provided at these locations. The pilot would require one site in each quadrant of the city and require that one of those be east of the Anacostia River. I know Ty just discussed it with you a bit, and I'll do my best. The ERAP is pretty complicated in my brain, but the council held a legislative meeting last Tuesday that included a vote on changes to the emergency rental assistance program. Mayor Bowser and Chairman Mendelson held a rare joint press conference the day before the hearing, saying that basically affordable housing providers and nonprofit developers are leaving DC or at risk of leaving DC because of the ballooning amount of unpaid rent that has been able to grow especially large because of the ERAP applicants not being able to be evicted while they await approval. So this bill that passed repeals a provision in the existing law, or repealed a provision in the existing law that allowed ERAP applicants to self-attest to certain eligibility criteria. It also will amend DC code to alter how pending ERAP applications impact the eviction proceedings. The measure passed with one amendment from Councilmember Robert White, which did a couple of things, but it includes permitting judges to extend a stay on an eviction in a case where the delay in an ERAP payment is the fault of the Department of Human Services or the result of inaction by the housing provider. So seeking to still not punish people who are suffering, who are not getting their payments because of DHS or the inaction of the housing provider, which might need to send some information. The council also voted on an amendment from Councilmember Pinto to our medical cannabis regulations, which I know has been a hot topic in this ANC. She believes we have to do a lot more to protect our young people from cannabis. And so the amendment strengthens child protective packaging laws by ensuring that cannabis packaging is not designed in a way that's likely to be mistaken for food or otherwise appeal to children. And it also protects the concerns of daycare centers by providing daycare centers within 400 feet of a cannabis establishment or cannabis retailer's location or proposed location the opportunity to participate in the APCA protest process. Commissioner McCarty, I know in the past you have asked and advocated for parties of 5 or more to still be included, and Councilmember Pinto did support that, but unfortunately that was not able to get enough support of other council members, hence why we did the daycare amendment instead. So unfortunately, just did not have enough support with the rest of the council. There really is a flurry of new legislation moving right now, so I always encourage you to follow us on social media or read our newsletters to keep up, or just go to the council website, because again, you have 5 council members, so don't forget that. The council is having a hearing on October 23rd about DC public school funding. and the instability that the current budget process brings for our schools, especially in regards to staffing. We know a lot of schools last year were told pretty last minute in the budget process, hey, you're gonna have to cut staff members, and that's just not acceptable, especially when it's things like foreign language programs that students have been studying in order to go to college, or arts programming that we don't want to see elementary schools lose, because we know how important that is to children. So if you have a chance to testify on October 23rd, that's the DC Public Schools hearing. I know Ty talked about leaf season already. I just wanted to add a few things. I think all of 2G is in leaf zone 2A. So I know these get a little confusing. So ANC 2G, leaf zone 2A. And so your collection is first, which is kind of a double-edged sword. So have your leaves ready by October 28th, because they're going to start basically immediately that day. I know most trees are pretty full around Shaw still, so maybe this changing weather will change that. And they're supposed to put a door hanger out at least 1 week before to warn everybody that they're going to be coming around. So they should be doing that as well. And then I said double-edged sword because it also means that you get the second collection. So a lot of times, like folks in Georgetown, they're the very last for leaf collection, and they get pretty angry come January and February when their second leaf collection hasn't happened yet. So yeah, that's kind of, I don't know how they chose that schedule, but that's how they choose it. And then a reminder, if you bag your leaves, you have to bag them in paper bags. Every year we get a lot of people complaining that their leaves weren't picked up, and I say, are your leaves in a plastic bag? And they say yes. And so you can't do that. Otherwise, they just need to be thrown in the garbage if you use a plastic bag. So either pull them to the curb or paper bags. And you can also take the paper bags to Fort Totten Transfer Facility. I think that's all for me. I will pull my presentation down and happy to take questions or comments.
Okay, I have a question. So when is anyone from your office going to return my phone call and respond to my email?
Let's see, from Monday.
From many days, and then there was an email. So what I'm talking about is that when we received the letter from the attorney concerning the release of detainees from 501 New York Avenue, which she's like, yeah, it's going to happen. And I sent that to Councilman Pinto to respond to, because that's her big thing. Is she says, you know,
Sorry, who said it's going to happen?
we have a letter from a lawyer. You guys got it.
No, I know, but I don't think that was. I watched most of your hearing yesterday, which again,
Yeah.
congratulations, that was a long hearing. But I don't think that was verified in the hearing.
Well, if you listen to Director Faust, and I'm going to, pull this all apart from my constituents, the release is still in what his side, and he says it's like not quite complete. I can't remember the word he used. So I had the privilege of talking to the head U.S. Marshal for the area, and I've been in correspondence with DOJ. No one's really clear. Let's put it that way. And so what I was told by the U.S. Marshal Service is that there is not a plan currently.
Okay, well that sounds different than what I heard in the BZA hearing yesterday from Director Faust.
There's lots of different ideas, but the letter that we presented to her was from a lawyer that I've been asking to have a lawyer look at this forever, and we did, and that's what the lawyer says. So that's why I would like her to comment on that.
Okay, well, I'll definitely pass that along to her.
Well, she already has it, and my phone calls. Just respond. Just respond. She's paid. I am not. She's paid to respond. And she should respond to all the other constituents that push back on her. Why is she going to respond to those people?
We responded to just about every person.
But there's people that responded back to her with questions. I hope she responds. All right, who's next? Anyone? No? Okay. Anyone from the public would like to talk to Brian from Councilmember Pinto's office? Raise your virtual hand or press *9. No? Okay. All right, Brian, we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a good meeting.
Bye. Okay, Inspector Davis, since you are, go ahead and comment what you wanted to comment.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Hello. First thing I want to comment on is leaf season.
Okay.
The leaf season, now the areas that's being worked on, if they're residential areas, my suggestion is to bag the leaves. The guys could be easier to go and grab the bags because the vac can't If it's construction, the vac can't get there. That's not gonna, and they're not, and if they rake, they're gonna be raking up gravel, all that, and that can cause damage to the equipment. So the best thing would be done is put them in bags. Those guys can go lift them, pull them into the street, and break the bags up in the street so the vac can get them. Okay, and I also wanted to speak on the vacant lot, Commissioner, that you were speaking of. Is it private? Is it a private vacant lot?
It is a private lot, but it's their park curb that's not being maintained.
You said the park curb.
Yes.
Where's the lot at exactly?
It's on the northeast corner of 10th and L Streets Northwest.
Okay, now I have issued citations, but DOB normally deals with vacant private lots. That's their we only really deal with government owned vacant lots, DPW. Now I have issued them a citation for failure to maintain. I have issued them citation when the trash cans were overflowing on the property, but to actually clean their property, that would fall on DOB, because they oversee privately owned lots.
Okay. Thank you, Inspector.
Now you can reach out to me if you see trash overflowing or if not maintaining that curb. Yes, I will write them failure to maintain.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
That makes
and I
sense.
have one other question for the for you all. I don't know who is the commissioner for 400 block of 5th Street where the corner store is. It's the 1200 and 5th Street. They have
Mine, that's mine. What's
that
going on?
litter can on the corner.
No,
I
no,
had
there's, are you talking about M Street? You're not talking about M Street? Yeah, Fifth and N. There's a litter can there,
N.
correct?
Right. I had a resident while we did a walkthrough a couple of months ago, I believe, that was requesting that can to be removed or something be done. I said I wanted to speak to the commissioner before that transpired. Because
So-
of that corner store,
Yep.
because of that corner store, I wouldn't suggest that it get moved, but it's up to you all in the residents if they want, because then it would be those kids that go into that store. At least some of them do try to use the can,
Yep.
but it would be worse on the corner if that can be removed. Now that's normally not. We don't normally put cans in a that's considered more of a residential area, but due to it being an old that can be in there for years, I wouldn't suggest the movie because it wouldn't come back. Because
Okay, well, here's the deal with the cans. And it is a lightning rod for my neighborhood because of the dog walkers. So it literally divides the neighborhood when cans disappear or are empty. So here's what we're going to do, Mr. Davis. We're not going to do anything tonight.
Okay.
So because if I put that out publicly and I hear I'm talking about it publicly, they just go crazy. So I mean,
Okay.
and especially the dog walker. So we're going to leave that there for now.
Okay.
And
No
you know,
problem.
I can have that at the can issue at a high level. I can do a single member because it is you would think that there was a horrendous crime that happened when the cans get removed. So I don't
Okay.
need that at the moment.
Okay. And I have one more thing with the leaf season. Because I'm normally with the leaf season crew. What is happening is residents are coming out after we have picked up that street, and they blow their leaves into the tree box space in the curve. The leaf truck is not coming back, not until the second round. Once them trucks are so big, when they're moving down that street, we don't have the ability to flip them back around to come right back down that side of that street. So if y'all can help me with letting the residents know, please don't blow them out after the vac has already went past, because they'll sit there until the second round or until they bag it and call 311 and someone will come out and remove it then. But for the vac to flip back around and try to get it, that wouldn't happen, because they're moving on their schedule. They got the schedule. And the reason why they start down here off of New Jersey Avenue first, actually y'all have less leaves. So it's faster for them to start there, because by the time we get up to Georgetown, the leaves falling out the tree, they is a lot of leaves up there. They got more leaves than you all do. So that's why they start down on y'all end first and then go up to Georgetown.
All right, very
All
good.
right.
Well, we will notify you if, we'll be in touch, I'm sure, back and
All right.
forth about this, because this is a big deal in our area.
All right,
So
thank
we
you.
thank you for your time. All righty, great. Okay, and let's see, is Alana on? There she is.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Solana Vandernet. I'm the Senior Manager of Community Engagement for the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. I'm happy to serve as a connection point between you and Events DC. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'll put my contact information in the chat. As a reminder, to learn more about Events DC, our programs, initiatives, and other opportunities, visit eventsdc.com. If you haven't already done so, please sign up for our electronic mailing list and follow us on our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll put this information in the chat as well. Regarding the October event calendar for the remainder of this month, we have 3 upcoming events at the Convention Center, 1 single day and 2 multi-days. I would like to highlight the following events. This Sunday, October 13th through Wednesday, October 16th, the AUSA annual meeting and exposition is being held at the Convention Center with an estimated attendance of 30,000. We submitted a traffic advisory last week, and I'll put that in our group chat as well for further details about that event. From October 7th through the 12th, DC Ghana Week, a series of events devoted to the celebration of Ghanaian art, culture, business, tourism, sports, food, and more, is taking place here in Washington, DC. For the latest event details and more information, please visit capitalcityafricacup.com. And for the first time, DC Ghana Week will also feature African Restaurant Week, offering the community an opportunity to experience the rich and diverse flavors of Pan-African cuisine, including African, African American, and Caribbean delicacies, with special discounts and prefix menus at several local restaurants. For more information on the Restaurant Week and the full list of participating restaurants, go to africanrestaurantweek.com. Thank you to everyone who was able to attend Once on This Island, presented by Events DC on the Carnegie Library lawn, Saturday, September 28th. Our community engagement team was thrilled to welcome an estimated nearly 3,000 people to this exciting activation, which was part of the annual Art All Night Shaw festivities. We look forward to learning about your experience, and please let us know how we did and what we can improve by completing this survey that we created, and I'll include that link in the chat as well. So thank you for letting me join this call tonight. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Great, thank you. We're excited for the Army to come, 'cause that's always lots of people that participate with the restaurants and all that. Okay, any questions, commissioners? No?
No questions, but a good job on Art All Night. That was wonderful. I saw Commissioner Brown out there, so it was really a fun night for the family. It was a good time.
Yes, thank you to everybody who was able to attend. It was good seeing some of the commissioners out there, and shout out to Shaw Main Streets. That was amazing as well. And it was a great event, and looking forward to next year.
Great, thank you. Anyone from the public that would like to talk to Solana from Convention Center, Events DC? Raise your little hand. Nope. Okay,
Thank you.
all righty. No, you're welcome. Thank you. All righty, commissioners, any announcements? Okay, well, I'll have one. So as I said before, we had our big hearing yesterday for 501 New York Avenue, and there was no decision yesterday. There was no vote. There's going to be a mini hearing on October 30th, and there'll be further. They want further information about release and noise and some other stuff. But that said, it was a very long day yesterday. But from our end, our witnesses did well. I thought we did great because, frankly, I always look at it. We were never supposed to get this far. And look where we are. So surprising everyone. So, and the fact that the board still had questions is interesting. So, but I'll leave it at that. But more to come, and October 30th is the date. So we'll see what happens. All right. Anything else? Alex, any announcements?
Uh,
No?
I do
Oh.
really, Commissioner Nigro.
Yep.
I just wanted to provide a quick update on my ongoing protest with Positronics, the medical cannabis retailer applicant for Blagden Alley, because I know there have been a lot of shifting dates and timelines. So this was published in my newsletter and shared out to constituents, but we had a second mediation and a scheduled protest hearing that was supposed to take place a couple of weeks ago on September 25th. We all agreed on a continuance. So both myself and the applicants agreed on a continuance. That kicked it out to what should have been yesterday. However, after a second mediation and coming to some terms that we thought may have been agreeable, the applicants did not share the language that they agreed upon. And so I've asked them to 3 times now to share their terms for a settlement agreement, and they've not responded since. And therefore, it does look like we will continue for a full protest. And because they did not respond with any draft settlement agreement language that was suitable for them, instead of that protest hearing taking place yesterday, it is now tentatively scheduled for October 23rd. And so we will see if that date sticks or if any movement happens between now and then. But I'm waiting to hear back from the applicant as we work through it, with the immediately affected and adjacent property owners and constituents in Blagden Alley.
Well, good job, Commissioner Riccardi. You have worked hard on this, and you deserve some accolades. And this is a tough topic, and there'll probably be others, right?
You.
So, but good job, good job, good job. Oh, you have a question, or you have something to say, Tony? Go ahead.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, we attempted to do a rat abatement sweep. It rained and that threw everything off. So anyway, I just want to let my constituents know that we're expecting it. I'm waiting on DOH to give us a new rescheduled date, and I'll get the information out to them.
Great, excellent. All right, anything else, you guys? Any community members have any announcements? Raise your hand. No. Okay. All right, let's move on to our first topic. We have, and Commissioner Watkins is not present tonight, and she apologizes for that. But this is her, and we've talked about this now. This is gonna be the third time. 1613 5th Street Northwest, for the change in lot occupancy. And for their support for the border zoning adjustment. All right, I don't know who's on the other side for this tonight. Lizzie. Oh, red. Too. And let me step away for a second because I have to plug in my computer before it dies. Hold on one second.
Actually, I did find an announcement here that I can make while we're waiting. There's going to be a Warner Street Halloween block party on October 31st for kids and grown-ups. There'll be a DJ, competition for best Halloween yard decorations. And I don't have the time, so presumably it'll be in the evening, but it's the information that I had available.
Yeah, red, go ahead. Lizzie, right, there's other people, right?
Yes. Yep. I
Is it
should be
red, right?
joining. Yep. Red. Thank you.
And Natalie? No.
Yes, that is the owner of the
Oh, yeah,
property.
go ahead. Yep. Okay.
Red has to accept panelist, and I don't think.
Go ahead, red.
Okay, there we go.
Is it everyone? Lizzie?
Yes, I believe that's everyone that's joining us this evening. Thank you.
Okay, so this was an ongoing discussion, and again, I apologize that Commissioner Watkins is not here. So there were some concerns about continued community engagement. Right? Can you all speak to that right before I bring the community over?
Yes, so we did ask the owners to join in today. They're now living in the district. They're here full time. And they have been trying to reach out to their neighbors to make connections. Natalie, I don't know if you want to speak more to that.
Yes, sure. Thank you first for having me on. We have absolutely loved living in this neighborhood, loved being in our house here, and very much enjoyed meeting some of our neighbors. Mostly Nicole, who is the other kind of owner resident, and so we're so grateful because everybody has been very kind to kind of guide us in how to live here. We have tried to reach out. We haven't gotten a lot of responses from our neighbors that rent out their properties. Forgive me, my daughter is in the kitchen making noise. But we are here today, and hopefully if someone else has questions or has information, we are here today to answer them. We hope to be able to renovate the house and really only to accommodate our larger family, right? It's kind of wild that a family with 4 kids would decide to live in the district, but this is what we've chosen because we love the fact that our kids are getting exposed to living in this wonderful city. Our 2 littles are going to KIPP DC here in Shaw. So they walk to school every day, the couple blocks. And our older kids are going to Washington Leadership Academy a couple miles up. I'm sorry. So we, to accommodate our family, we wanted to add a 3rd story and also a basement. If you see in our designs, our basement doesn't have an entrance or exit because our intent is not to rent. Our intent is not to rent a basement or do anything like that. So you could see that from the design actually. The 1st floor is just a living room and dining room. The 2nd floor has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The 3rd floor also has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The basement has an office and an area for a washer dryer. And then we wanted to add a roof deck to it. And so we were very accepting of any suggestions that the community might have for us. I think Red very quickly changed the design when we were asked to kind of make sure that the consistency in the design fit the street. We want to make the street beautiful. We want to take care of it. We want to be owners that are here and present and engaged. We feel like a beautiful street brings it brings in people that are more respectful to our street, to be honest, right? Like a street that is well taken care of, that has owners that think about it every day, as you guys probably have experienced, is a street where others want to live as well. And so here to engage, to ask for something at first, but hopefully to also be part of the community and also give to this community when I can.
Okay. So we're here tonight to talk about lot occupancy, and I support that, but I have some additional questions because I was not expecting to be the lead on this night, but here I am. So, and I know Nicole Shea is on the other side, but did you talk to Joseph and Adrian Rose?
I think if we could invite Nicole to share, she has more connections and she's tried to connect me to some folks, and I've tried to email them, but I did not receive a response, unfortunately.
But you emailed, do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm not sure. Yeah, so if we could invite Nicole to also share, maybe she has more information.
Hey there, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi. So I have connected Natalie and Chris with the tenants on one side and the owners on another side. And I know some folks were talking about connecting with you, but you guys have each other's contact information. So there's been lots of opportunity for folks to connect and talk with each other. And I have talked with Natalie and Chris about some of the community's general concerns with development that's been going on in the area, which is not, just talking about the concerns that we've seen with some work that's been going on, which I think is quite a different scenario than what Natalie and Chris are likely to be doing. I have spoken with Joe and Adrian myself. I don't believe I shared Natalie and Chris's contact information with them, but I did talk with them about, my understanding of this project versus other projects. And then also my understanding of, there was a little bit of a disconnect between a brief 1 or 2 sentence description of the permit request and then the full information that was in the permit itself. And that really brief description, I think, was written by somebody in the permitting office of the Department of Buildings. And it was a little bit like when a newspaper headline maybe doesn't fully capture the nuance of what's written in that longer application or article. And I shared with neighbors that my understanding is that the request for the zoning variance, I think that's what we're asking for, and the permit seems to be in line with what has happened in other parts of the city. And so the concerns that I personally have had, I'm no longer concerned about them. And my feeling is that the neighbors that are in the immediate proximity of the residents at 1613 have had the opportunity also to speak with Natalie and Chris. So I think the concerns that we initially had, I think folks have had plenty of time to talk through those concerns. And I don't know, there has not been that much action taken, so I don't know that there's really much concern beyond that. I think folks probably feel pretty comfortable at this point that they've had, certainly they've had at least enough time to weigh in.
Okay, because those were 2 constituents who were pretty opposed.
Yeah. And Joe and Adrian do also live. They were not, I don't believe that they were notified about the project, but my understanding is they're outside of that area that would be notified. They live over on New Jersey Avenue, and I think that's outside of the radius of folks that would be notified about it as well.
So Natalie, does those 2 names sound familiar to you, or they are not? I mean, because those 2 were totally against it.
They do not, and I wonder.
I just sent them an email. I don't have their phone numbers, so.
We've had signs up on our home. We've had 2 big signs up. One of them has been there for 2 months and a half or so longer than it's required, just because we wanted to make sure that the community is aware of the things that we're doing. And so maybe it caught their attention if they weren't on the immediate kind of notification sphere. However, again, happy to speak to them. It seems that they're not immediate neighbors. It sounds like they may be a little further away.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward because I just sent them an email. I didn't hear anything again. Ms. Watkins notified me very soon before the start of this meeting that she couldn't attend. So I'm just going about from what you guys are telling me. So let's just move forward with the vote. So again, it is just the lot occupancy at this point, correct? Not the
That's
thingamajigger.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
We're requesting relief for the lot occupancy. Yes,
Okay, and it's from 60 to 70, is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. Commissioners, before I make the motion, do you have any questions about anything, or I'll ask anyone from the other side too?
Hey, sorry, I apologize. It's Nicole. If I could just share one more thing. And that one more thing is that the size that 1613 is looking to occupy on their lot, it's not any bigger than the biggest house that already exists on this like 6-house stretch of homes. It's about the same size or a little bit smaller. And that is something when I have communicated with neighbors about that I myself have found that to be like, well, oh, we're looking for this to be the same size as the next biggest house on this stretch of like 6 to 8 homes in our little row house clique. And other neighbors have also felt similarly that it seems to be acceptable to us. So I just wanted to add that as one more thing, and I will go happily on mute after this.
All right, commissioners, do you have any concerns, anything?
Rochelle,
Alex?
did
Yeah.
Commissioner Watkins express an opinion to you when she told you that she was?
No, she sent me a text and she said that it was, she said if you could motion, and so that was the extent, so.
Well, you can say how you should motion.
But that is, she sent the motion. She sent the actual motion.
Oh,
So-
okay, so she's in support.
Yeah,
Okay, that was the question.
yeah,
Okay, great.
yep. Okay, anyone from the public that has a question, please raise your hand. Anyone else here? Commissioner McCarty, no? Okay. All right, I move that ANC 2G support the application for the change for lot occupancy for 1613 Fifth Street, and that changes from 60% to 70%, and we communicate that to the Board of Zoning Adjustment.
Seconded.
Okay, Alex Padro seconds, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. All right, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for your patience.
Good luck.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
And when is the hearing?
Our hearing is now scheduled for November 13th.
Okay, very good. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thanks, Nicole. Everyone have a good night. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
Bye,
zooming in.
everyone.
Okay, so now we have another BZA. It's this is actually in Commissioner McCarty's area. It's 933 N Street. And before we had talked about historic, and now this is zoning. All right, I don't know.
I know, well,
Yeah, Eric is here. Eric is the
okay.
with them.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah, there she is. Yep.
Yeah,
Hey
I
everyone.
do. Awesome. Eric and Gaste, I'll let you take it away, but I'll just, preface this that the developers and architects have already been really working hand in hand with the community and neighborhood on this. They hosted a few public meetings where we got a bunch of neighbors together in the spring to discuss this more. And I think my constituents are still pretty excited about this project and happy to help you guys get over the hump to make it happen.
Okay,
Great.
so
Thank you, Commissioner McCarty. I appreciate that.
guys wanna
I
do
do
your
have
slides?
brief PowerPoint to go through, which we showed the zoning committee last week. You all can hear me, correct? Okay, great. And as you mentioned, Commissioner McCarty, Gosde Tanieri from ADG&G, the architect is here. You may remember Gosde from the historic preservation case earlier this year. But we are in zoning now. We are BZA case 21183. Again, my name is Eric DeBear, land use counsel for the applicant from Cozen O'Connor. What you're seeing in this picture is the Henrietta apartment building, as well as the new proposed development directly to the left of that. To give just your bearings, we're at the corner, by the corner of 9th and on N Street between 9th and 10th. We are in the RF1 zone. Here you can see existing conditions and overhead view. I'll just point you to the open space to your left of the Henrietta. That's part of our lot. You can see it here. That's really an unused space, and that's really the crux of what's happening here. So the proposal is to subdivide this property, which is currently 2 lots, which is currently 1 lot into 2 lots using that open side yard that you just saw. The historic Henrietta is currently under renovation. It's being modernized by the property owner. In connection with that, they are looking to do this subdivision, which would create a 2nd lot and allow them to improve that lot with a new 2-unit row home. That row home, I'll show the plans in a moment, but the summary of that would be 1 unit facing N Street and a 2nd unit facing Naylor Court. 1 parking space would be provided, and there would be an interior courtyard that you'll see momentarily. As I mentioned in May, HPRB approved concept review for this subdivision that you are seeing today, and ANC did support that HPRB case. So on the left, you'll see the existing site plan. Again, it's all 1 lot with the Henrietta and a large open side yard. And on the right, you'll see what's being proposed. That would be to subdivide the lot into 2 and improve that new lot with the 2-family home. Here's a section of what the new home would look like. You can see on the left, that's fronting on N Street, and on the right, that's fronting on Naylor Court. Again, the rear unit would be smaller, but the front unit would be 5 bedrooms. And here you'll see elevations both on N Street and along the alley. And here's another side elevation. You can see the court I mentioned. There's a connection at grade between the front and the rear homes. But the court really does provide, for light and air in the middle of the property. And again, kind of allows us to create a presence on Naylor Court, which HPRB found to be consistent with that historic district. And then a few renderings that Gosde's firm has put together. This is on N Street. And now you see along Naylor Court. So we do need several areas of relief from the Board of Zoning Adjustment. Again, because we are subdividing the Henrietta lot, even though we are not changing the Henrietta building itself, we do need relief for the Henrietta. First, you are not required to have a side yard in the RF1 zone, but if you have one, you cannot eliminate it. Here, by subdividing, we would be eliminating the Henrietta side yard. There will be an interior court created between the Henrietta and the new building. There are width requirements for courts, and we would be just shy of those. You can see we're proposing between 9 feet 10 inches and 12 feet 3 inches, and 13 feet are required. The lot occupancy, because we are obviously reducing the size of the Henrietta's lot, we would then be increasing the lot occupancy. So the lot coverage will go from existing 59% to proposed 80%. The maximum is 60% in the zone. And then finally, for the new structure, we would be seeking a variance to provide no rear yard. Much of that is driven by the historic preservation goals that I mentioned, which is really to create a presence and the feeling of a structure on the alley. And that was something that I know HPRB and HGO staff were very excited about. But under zoning, you're required to have a 20-foot rear yard, and we would be providing no rear yard. In connection with that rear yard relief, we would also be extending more than 10 feet beyond the rear wall of the adjoining property to the west. However, as I noted, I do think the interior courtyard mitigates a lot of that. You can see that it really, even though we are technically extending beyond it, there is really no structure in the middle which is directly adjacent to the rear of that structure. So with that, I will conclude the presentation. Happy to answer any questions. Again, I'll just add that, as the commissioner noted, this was supported. We have several letters of support from neighbors nearby. And again, we look forward to your questions or comments.
Okay, great. And our little committee meeting last week, people were supportive. So, any questions from the other commissioners? No? Go ahead.
Were there any people who were not in support of this project?
Not stated directly to me. I know Gosday spoke to some individuals, or one individual who kind of had some questions, the neighbor to the left of us that I mentioned. However, I have not heard anything from them. My understanding is they had their house on the market, so perhaps it was sold to someone new, and we have not heard from them.
I can actually also contribute to this. So no constituent has actually reached out to me to oppose this either. In fact, many wrote letters in support of the HPRB application we approved in the spring. But I will say that one neighbor, that was there was an issue with the cornice, and Gosday and the team satisfactorily addressed his concerns. So I know that they actually made some slight modifications, if I remember correctly, to account for that. So they did address what the neighbor was requesting.
Okay.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions from the audience? Please raise your virtual hand or press *9 about this project, 933 N Street Northwest. No. Okay. Commissioner Parker, this is very, do you know how to, do you want to, do you know
Yes,
what
this
this
is
is?
going to be a long one.
I
But,
have the slide, or do you?
that's funny. I took a picture of the slide.
Yes, me too, last week, remember, Eric?
Let's do this. So I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G support the special exception relief being requested by for the property at 933 N Street Northwest, specifically side yard exception. So granting the exception that they eliminate the side yard that currently exists, and with a special exception for allowing proposed interior court width, or proposed court width length from 9 foot 10 inches to 12 foot 3 inches below the required 13 feet. And also that we support the lot occupancy variance being requested, allowing a proposed 80%, while there currently is a maximum of 60%. And last but not least, that we support their request for a variance for the rear yard at proposed of 0 feet, with the current requirement being 20 feet. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Thank you.
Okay, Alex seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, great.
Thank you, commissioners.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Okay. Now we have very exciting Flight Club, not Fight Club, Flight Club. So they are up next. They are coming to my area. Restaurant, bar, but entertainment too, darts. Something new and exciting. and big. Hi.
Hi, good evening, commissioners. Thank you so much for having us. I'm Anal Mahmoud with Malleus O'Brien Sandground on behalf of Flight Club. And I'm joined here also on the call should be Louise Nielsen. So if we could elevate her. And as Commissioner Nigro was saying, this is going to be a social restaurant with darts. And Louise can explain the concept. It's open in a few jurisdictions in America, in the UK and Australia.
Hey, Louise.
Hello.
Go ahead, and if you want to describe to the other commissioners and to the audience the concept.
Myself, yeah. So we're basically an entertainment, competitive socializing venue. We have a darts game, which we describe as the area that you play as an oche. There's a dartboard on the back wall. Groups of up to 20 can book an oche and play darts, score. It's all tech enabled, quite clever technology. So there's no manual scoring needed. And at the same time as people are playing darts, they can eat and drink from our quite varied menu. We have a check-in. A lot of our business is mostly pre-booked, so people book in advance and arrive at the venue and come through they can have a drink at the bar while they're waiting until their oche area is ready. They can book an oche for around 90 minutes, or we have events bookings too, where people can hire 1, 2, or certain sections of the venue for a period of the evening. And then after their game's finished, they can also wait in the bar before they leave. So it's all quite organized and systematic.
Yes, and this is Manal speaking. I apologize for not including that our hours, our applied for hours are Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m., Monday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m., Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., and the hours of our entertainment endorsement reflect those hours as well.
Okay, great. Well, we are very excited to have this come to ANC 2G06. I think it's going to be quite the game changer because, as I said in Alex's meeting last week, people will be coming not from just the immediate area, they'll be coming from the entire DMV area. This is going to be a large, sizable space with 307 people.
Yes, so the total occupancy 307 and seating
307.
capacity 194.
Yep. So there's going to be birthdays, whoever wants to pay darts, whatever, bachelor party, whatever. So it's going to be it's going to be a destination restaurant, and we are here for it. My major concern actually has nothing to do with their liquor license. It'll be when people come to the area, there is literally no place for these 300 people to park. So you guys are going to have to encourage Metro, because I did remember we were talking last week about the parking garage. So I reached out to 655 management to increase their hours for the parking garage, because this has been a point with the restaurants who are open late, and they have denied that, and they have denied it again. Louise, remember that?
Yeah, no, I've looked into it, and the car park, the garage is open until 10 p.m. Sunday to Thursday, and Friday and Saturday it's open until 11. But people can leave at any time. So as long as they're within the car park, then they can exit.
But you guys are open till what time on the weekends?
We applied for 2 a.m.
Yeah, so that's you're gonna have that's the whole thing, is that when you got Flirt and Flight and whatever else and conventions, it is going to, if you, I know you guys are going to be busy. I think that's going to be fabulous, and I'm very supportive of it. But that said, I'm disappointed that they are not considering an increase, because it would be benefit the entire area, not just you guys. And trust me, we have tried, and I'll keep trying, because it would help. And these other commissioners certainly understand that. Now, let me put on the screen the settlement agreement, because we had a conversation. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're flight. Like, is it flirt or flight? Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, you guys are gonna flirt or flight. All right, so
Flight.
so the only concerns when I asked the council was to flirt social club. They're the only one on their in terms of entertainment and late. You guys, you and flirt are going to be the late people. Everyone else closes up early. That's just how it is on that block, right? But they're busy, but they don't stay open as late. So it's you guys. And so to match, just kind of do the same, right? And so the concerns I talked earlier about is that the hours of security Thursday through Sunday, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So the question is, since you're here on the call now, Louise, is why not the other days? Because I was saying earlier, you guys are going to be popular. I can predict this. And you're by the convention center. If you guys were to be open during the next week because of the Army, you're going to be flooded with those convention years. So I don't quite understand why you think you only need security Thursday through Saturday.
It's really about the type of business that we have. So Thursday through Saturday is a lot more social business, as in individuals or groups or spontaneous walk-ins. Not much. It's probably about 30%. In the week, we tend to be very pre-booked, and it's mostly the corporate crowd. So it is those people coming from the convention centers, and it's all very organized. Once the groups come in, and then they get their Rockies in their area, it's quite low key. It's more the weekends where there's a lot of in and out traffic that needs to be managed more. So that's the reason behind it. It's a lot more low key early on in the week with groups, corporate crowds, the Price Waterhouse, Deloitte type of clients. So it doesn't really warrant much need for security that we've found in our previous venues anyway.
I disagree with you because you have not been in this area.
No,
and
this is only based on previous.
This could be anyone and their mother coming there, and who's ever at the convention center, Gymnastics R Us or the Anime crowd, or you are going to be a destination restaurant. And I'm not sure about your description that it's only going to be the PWC crowd on Tuesday night.
No, you're completely right. There could be all sorts of clients and guests who come in, but it tends to be a lot more planned and organized and less toing and froing. So that we don't feel we've noticed this in our other venues, the other 6 flight clubs that we operate in the States, but perhaps DC is different. We do have a lot of events types bookings, but because they tend to be larger groups, there's not really much need for security.
But that is my concern. You can have 307 people there, and I again, if you were to be here next week with the Army, you would have probably full capacity on a Tuesday night.
If we have full capacity and full buyouts, we will put extra security on. I think it depends on the trade of what we know, what business we have in advance because it's pre-booked. So if we have full event buyouts or lots of bookings, we have the flexibility to be able to add security on if we need to. It's just there may be a quiet night. There might be something that's not on at the convention, and then we've just got a few small bookings, and having security on is a lot of extra expense.
So here, I play fair with my businesses, right? And I can't assume that Flirt, which they have on their settlement agreement when they're there every day of the week, and they are quite small compared to you guys.
Oh, so they have security every night of the week.
Well, I mean, it just seems you are going to have a sizable crowd. There is going to be drinking. We don't know who's going to be there. I mean, I would never assume it's going to be corporate. I have no idea who's going to show up at your place, right? All I know is probably going to be very popular, and you have a large capacity, and who knows what's going to happen. And I just, as I said, when I said to your council, I was like, well, try to match it up with the Flirt. And I guess I play fair. And you have a significant establishment coming to my single member district that will be impactful.
Sure.
And so I'm not sure, I get that why you don't think that things can happen on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, there is the possibility. I'm just sort of drawing on our experience from previous venues, but sometimes there may be a quiet night. So I think, well, because everything's pre-booked, we will add security if we know we're going to have a busy night. I think
So see, but I don't know that Flirt has a busy night. I'm just trying to be fair, right? And it is, I don't know if Flirt's busy or not busy when they're, I don't know. That's not my place, right? All I know is that we did require that they have security 7 days a week. And you guys are a significantly larger venue.
So
Sure, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Alex.
Commissioner Nigro,
Yep.
so the committee did obviously hear a presentation, voted to recommend that the commission support this application, based on the settlement agreement mirroring Flirt's settlement agreement.
Correct.
That requires security on all nights that they're operating. So it is not reasonable for the commission to give an exemption to Flight when Flirt has already made the commitment, and it is in their settlement agreement, and they're a smaller establishment. I personally would vote to protest this license application unless they agree to the security requirement.
Yeah, Louis. So I mean, I support your, again, I am very pro-business. But it just is the size and what's going to happen there and your late hours, and it is impactful no matter whether it's darts or dancing or whatever. So
No, I take your point. I didn't realize that Flirt had security every night. Yeah, I
and
understand.
they're open late, and they have parties. I mean, they are when they are open late at night, they have security, and they have a significant amount of parties, and they're based really look on their liquor consumption, right? They have some snacks and all that. It's not quite the full size restaurant by any means. So, but they were fine with the security part because they are packed in there when they have parties and all that, and I give them kudos for that. But they are not, they are far from a space from 307 people.
And Louise, it's important to note that the operators of Flirt are an established team that has operated in this space on that block for many years. So, you need to be guided by the folks that have had the experience of operating in the area, even if it's a smaller establishment. With a larger establishment like yours, you really just have to have it.
And
yes, absolutely.
We just don't know who's going to come. I mean, we know, here's what we do know. We know you're going to be busy, right? And I think I'm sure you had studies done and professional guidance and your own experience from your other establishments, wherever they are, that you did your research, right? Otherwise you wouldn't have landed at 655 New York Avenue and you're half a block from the convention center.
Yes, no, I mean, it's a fantastic area and we see the opportunity. It's obviously hard to know for us. We base our decisions on an evaluation and what's going on in the market, and we do obviously want to be busy. So if the requirement is for security, I totally take your point on board. What hours would it be from? What hours does
so
Flirt?
they're the here, actually I have Flirts right here. So they have based theirs on when they're busy, and that's after 5 o'clock. It's like kind of when a happy hour starts, I think it was. Where is it here? We have it. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so they start their security from it's Sunday through Thursday from 5 to 2, and Friday and Saturday 5 to 3. So that's when their crowds come.
Okay.
So I mean, again, is that something that you would agree to? Or here's what we can do tonight, Louise. We are supportive, right? The commission can protest it. You can go back and talk to your people, right? And then 2 days from now, you go, here you go, Rochelle. We're going to have security from, I don't know, 6, 7, whatever. You have 7 to 2, right? 7 nights, whatever. So
yeah, I mean, 7 till 2 works. We can agree that if that's acceptable.
Is that when you guys feel that you're going strong?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that then you agree to the 7 nights a week?
Yes.
Okay, do you have to consult someone though?
No.
Because it's no big deal for us to protest and then 2 days later, it's done.
Well,
And we don't
no.
have to worry.
Next month we would,
Huh?
next month we would withdraw it.
Yeah. Well, I read a letter too. So are you okay with that decision, Louise? Is that?
Yes, no, I'm fine with that. 7 till 2, 7 days a week.
Okay. So you don't have to
Well,
communicate
no,
back. Huh, Alex?
No, it would be 7 until closing because you get different
Yes.
closing
Correct,
hours
yes.
different days. So it'd be 7 to midnight on Sundays, 7 to 1 a.m. Monday through Wednesday, and then 7 to 2 from Thursday through Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Nigra, I can make
Yep.
that edit in the settlement agreement and send you the redraft with those 7 days a week hours.
Okay, great. Super. Okay, Louise, are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, commissioners, any other questions? Let me take this down. Okay, does anyone have any questions from the public concerning this? Is anyone left on the other side?
Few stragglers.
I see Howard. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me do the motion here. Okay, I move that ANC 2G support the Class C retailers Class C restaurant license for Flight Cub, which is located at 641 New York Avenue Northwest, and with their entertainment endorsements. In addition, that we support the settlement agreement with the changes that security be 7 nights a week in accordance with their hours from 7 p.m. into the hours that they close. And then we communicate this to ABCA.
Second it.
Okay. Alex seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sheena? Aye, okay, great. Motion passes. Okay, great.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you,
All right,
Commissioner.
thank you. We'll be in communication. Feel free to reach out. Thank you,
Good luck.
ladies.
Mhm.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay, Commissioner Riccardi, the floor is yours for your resolution.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. I'm going to pull it up on my screen. But as I alluded to earlier, I'm currently in a very long ongoing protest process for a medical cannabis applicant in my own single member district. And it has really highlighted some inefficiencies within the process, particularly around availability of information and where ABCA actually is in their investigative process. And so this resolution comes from the fact that our first protest hearing deadline to submit our PIF, which is the protest information form, is required to be submitted to ABCA 1 week in advance. But before that, ABCA promises that they will assign an investigator to your case who will talk to the applicants and the group or entity protesting the license. However, during this process, my only call was 1 day before the PIF was required to be submitted on behalf of the ANC as a protester. And so that really, one, it's inefficient, but two, that call was helpful for me in the process of representing my constituents and protesting this case, because the investigators do talk to you about the issues at hand and talk to you about, what ABCA will take under consideration or won't take under consideration, pertaining to that specific license being requested. And so ABCA's investigative process is a very vital component of the protest process as a whole, except when it comes in at such a late hour with little to no notice, it really serves as a disadvantage to both the applicant and the protesting groups. So this resolution basically it outlines the request to, one, specifically make sure that ABCA will conclude its investigation at least a week before the PIF or protest information form is required to be submitted to ABCA Legal. And that is 2 weeks before any scheduled protest hearing. And so this simply says that that has to be concluded in a reasonable amount of time before any submission deadline and before any protest hearing takes place, and that it should be made available, the ABCA investigative findings should be made available to the protesting group and the applicant as well 1 week before the protest hearing. That is in alignment with the PIF requirements because we are required to submit a PIF 7 days in advance of any protest hearing for all parties, including ABCA, applicant, and protester. So this is basically putting them on par with both with all parties and saying that everyone 1 week before a protest must share their findings, share their evidence, and share all the information that they are protesting or advocating for in that protest hearing. Any questions?
Well, this is going to be your life, Commissioner McCarty. As I've said before, this is your destiny. No.
So no questions, but the committee did vote to recommend that the commission support the issuance of this resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Well, I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission.
Wait, let's see if anyone has anyone on the public, anyone left have any questions? No. Okay. All right, go ahead, Commissioner. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2G pass a resolution requesting ABCA to mandate investigative and report submission deadlines prior to protest hearings, and that this is communicated to the Director of ABCA, DC Council Committee on Business and Economic Development, and the Executive Office of the Mayor.
Seconded.
Alex seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Great. Good job, Commissioner McCarty. Keep up the fight.
Thank you.
Good job. Oh, okay. Now, okay. So now we got an NOI, crazy NOI, and I hope I can find it. Hold on, you guys. Bear with me. I apologize. Hold on. Because it has to do sort of with the jail. What NOI is it here? Okay. And I don't think you don't see Christoph on the other side, do you, Commissioner McCarty? No.
No.
Okay. I invited him. Let's see.
I looked through my emails. I didn't see this notice of intent.
Oh, no, I have it here. Have it. 1 second. Let me get it up here. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, it's sort of wacky. Hold on. And I'll have to explain it. So, because it's nothing that we can support it, but it's just a little strange because of the jail. So, hold on. Okay, so here it is. This and where are we looking here? Where's the jail? What is this? Okay. Oh, wait a minute, maybe he did it wrong. Wait a minute, this is the Chris Hart one.
You're muted.
Sorry, it's about removing 3 parking spaces from 6th Street.
Well, it's more than 3 parking spaces. It's between K and L.
No, but that is Chris Hart's area.
Oh,
There
so
was one for our area. Oh gosh, hold on. Mm. Tony, why don't you go while I'm looking for this?
Okay. A couple of things. Let me just get one thing out of the way real quick. Rochelle and I and Sandra have been going back and forth with this quarterly report thing. They have been making adjustments all the way back to Q1. We finally got re-signed on what, 2 of them, Rochelle?
Yeah.
But anyway, as I went back and did research, we sort of match up to a certain point, but currently we don't match anywhere clear, near what they have in there. So there's something wrong with the system. So we have not submitted. We're not submitting 4th quarter because I can't confirm it. So anyway, as soon as we get that straight, we'll get that 4th quarter. Okay. Monthly report for ANC 2G, October 2024. Our opening statement with FBC Bank is as of 8/30/24 is $9,575.86. We've had 2 allotments for technical assistance from ANC in the amounts of $1,500, and the second is $1,824. They were both received on 9/25. Already, because they were approved, we have written checks for those same 2 amounts. Check number 1067 in the amount of $1,500, and check number 1068 in the amount of $1,824. Basically, canceling each other out. Our ending balance is again $9,575.86. I sent everybody that information. Expenses. We have, I think, 4. These are for Karen Yaley. I didn't get the invoice last month until late, so we have 1 for September and 1 for October. So for the expense of the September meeting for note taking and website maintenance for Karen Yaley in the amount of $275. The invoice was presented September 12th. I move that we pay Karen Yaley the amount of $275 for the note taking and website maintenance for September.
Seconded.
All right, being it.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, I found it. It was in the actually NOI, so I knew I wasn't going crazy. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now I'm bringing this because I'm not going crazy.
Okay, all right, that's 1. Second one,
Okay.
the second one for Karen for the amount of $275. I move that ANC 2G pay Karen Yaley the amount of $275 website maintenance for the October meeting, which is today, in the amount of $275.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
The motion
Thank
passes. Great. Aye.
Okay. All right, now we have some new expenses for the 501 New York Avenue activity we had with the posters. So Rochelle incurred 2 expenses. The first is for reimbursement for posters of the 501 New York Avenue project in the amount of $883 for
Posters.
how many posters was it?
350.
Okay, 350 posters in the amount of $883.
Second.
Okay.
All in
All
favor?
in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Okay, right, you have to abstain. Okay. And one other expense for Rochelle, this is, I moved that ANC 2G reimburse Rochelle Nigro for the supplies for the poster the poster project in the amount of $96.47. And that's all the supplies that were related to the posters.
Sorry, can we get some clarity as to what the supplies were?
Staplers, tape, and markers.
First, miscellaneous office supplies.
So now we own staplers, tape, Nancy, taper, tapes, and markers.
Yep. $96.47.
Second.
Okay,
Sheena.
Stephen McCartney. Seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Right, okay, got you. All right, I'm done.
Okay, then let me go back to this NOI and then we'll do the lawyer stuff. Right, Tony?
Mhm.
Right, okay. All right, so I'm sorry. I was just, let me go back to this here. Okay, so I wasn't crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, so this, where's the picture? See, there's no picture. So what they're gonna do is, this is between 6E and 2G, is that due to the pedestrian that was killed at 6th and New York Avenue, they want to remove parking spaces. And for our side, for the 2G side, they would like to remove the parking spaces that are up against 501 New York Avenue on the west side. They used to be police parking. So what was controversial about this is that the other NOI, DDOT said, we want to make that paid parking. Now that's gone, fine. And now there's going to be no parking. But what I pointed out was that no one communicated this with the Department of Corrections. So the Department of Corrections stepped and were like, well, we're going to have our cars there. And it was horrible back and forth. And so finally, the Department of Corrections said, fine, we're not going to put if the jail comes, we won't put our cars there. They wanted to circle the cars and the vans and all that. So there's going to be but what's going to happen, I think, if the jail does come, is that they will try and encroach on residential parking. But who knows, right? Because it's too significant of a loss for them not to surround the building. But the fact of the matter, the NOI is a good thing. It's positive. It'll provide for a left-hand turn lane, and any safety there is much needed. There it is. So there won't be any Department of Correction vehicles on the west side of 501 New York Avenue. Any questions? I'm not Christoph. Any concerns? Anyone not for it?
Just a comment that is a terrible intersection.
Yes.
I know a number of people that have had accidents, car accidents there, and obviously with a fatality. It seems like the only way you get DDOT to really make significant changes when somebody dies.
Exactly, and the fact that, and here's the thing, and I don't want to expand about the jail anymore, but the fact that the Department of Corrections assumed that they didn't have to communicate with DDOT. Surprise! That again, a yay for me.
Yeah, so not only do they not have to consult with the community, they don't have to even consult with their own government.
There was no communication. So anyway, so let me just say that any questions from the audience? Anyone still left?
No, but I'm happy
right,
that it's
okay.
gonna be a turn
All right.
signal.
Okay.
It's good. It's a good thing that there's
It's
gonna
great.
be a left turn signal there. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. I move that ANC 2G support the DDOT NOI 24-245 TESD for the safety improvement at 6th and New York Avenue. And do I have a second?
And
Mr. McCarty, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. All right, let's move then to, okay, well, let's talk about this. So let's talk about the website and documentation. So I have submitted all of my previous documents to Commissioner Watkins, and she can work with Commissioner McCarty. Commissioner McCarty is going to work on the website, right? Yep. So Alex, what we need from you is any documentation from 2023.
So specifically, what I was told was correspondence.
Well, anything that you sent to the government, Chris, the
Correspondence.
letters, any letter.
Correspondence. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. So I'm working on it.
but just send it over.
Yeah. No. I've got multiple computers, multiple hard drives, and I have had 2 major events, as well as some health challenges recently. But I will get it to Commissioner Watkins and Commissioner McCarthy as soon as I can.
Okay, it just, you know, we just want to get this before the new term to get the website up and fully functioning.
Sure.
So when could we have that? Because now it's been delayed for, and I get it out. I don't, you know.
I will
But
provide
it's-
it as soon as I am physically able.
Okay. But what, could you have a date for us? Because this has been
I do
now a
not-
couple months.
I cannot offer a date.
Okay. But I mean, we just have to have those documents.
Well, by December 31st. You wanted a date, December 31st.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's move on. So it's, I just, could you think if you could do that sooner, Alex?
I can.
Is there any way that we can help you with it? If I was to go back to the agencies or?
And then it'd be a lot more work than is necessary. So like I said, I just need to plow through a bunch of hard drives.
Okay. Or just go down through your email.
Or that. And
Yeah, I just sat at my computer and just zipped it off and took like a half an hour and be done with it. So I just went through the agendas. If you need help, I can help you.
I'll take care of it.
We just, okay. We just would like that as soon as possible. Okay, so Commissioner Party, tell us about the website. If we get anything else to add?
One thing I was actually thinking we should add is our quarterly financial reports. So Tony, we should put you in the mix with Commissioner Watkins and myself to get those up. But yeah, and anything else on anyone's mind for just the sake of making sure our constituents have everything they need from us?
The video, the minutes, any correspondence? That's about it. So. Okay, all right. Moving on. Okay, so let's talk about the other lawyer fees that hopefully will end on October 30th. Okay, so we're gonna we motioned for the checks last month, Tony, for the 114 and so we can write those checks. I'm gonna submit the grant information. We can write those checks off once we get that. Hopefully they'll approve that next week. And then let's get okay. So there is for the other lawyer, Todd Baldwin, who gave us the opinion letter about release. So I'm gonna motion that we submit the information for the grant from the Office of ANC, and then I'm gonna ask a motion that we write the check. Okay. So, and that check is, and actually, we're probably gonna be using him again, which I wasn't expecting, but there it is. So, because of what happened.
3,780.
Yep, okay. So I move that ANC 2G support the applying for additional grant money from the Expert Legal Assistance Fund with the Office of ANC for the amount of $3,780 for Todd S. Baldwin Esquire.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then I move that ANC 2G write the check for Todd S. Baldwin Esquire for the amount of $3,780. Do you have a second?
Seconded.
Alex seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have the last, the other themac one, right, Tony? That I sent you?
You sent that to me this afternoon, right?
Yeah, this is 2,496.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I move that ANC 2G apply to the Office of ANC's Legal Expert Assistance Fund for the amount of 2,496 for Donahoe Themac and Miller PLC. Do I have a second?
Second.
Tony seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I motion that ANC 2G support writing the check to Donahoe, Themac, and Miller for their legal services for $2,496.
Second.
Tony seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion passes. That's it for now.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. We gotta keep up. We gotta pay our bills. All right. Now, let's go to the minutes. I did have that change in the minutes just for clarity for the last legal fund, so the auditor can understand it. Any other changes for the minutes from our last meeting? No.
I move that ANC 2G approve the minutes of the September 12th, 2024 meeting with any changes submitted to the recording secretary.
Okay, do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, Steven seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, anything else, folks? No? Okay, this is great. It's 8:30. So, all right, thanks you all for tonight, and we'll give what?
I think Howard had a community announcement.
Oh, who has a community announcement?
Howard. Garrett. Is he still there?
Oh, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Howard, do you have something? Hi, Howard.
Hi everyone. I guess no one's on the call, but I was going to invite neighbors. I'm having a community cleanup on October 26th for community cleanup and a sidewalk palooza. I wanted to invite residents to partake in on October 26th from 11 to 1 p.m.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Put it out there on social media, Howard. I know you will.
Yep,
all
it's
right.
already out.
Great. Okay, so then I move that ANC 2G adjourns this meeting, and the next meeting will be November 8th.
Second.
Do I have a second? Okay, Alex seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thanks, everyone. Be safe. Happy Halloween.
Likewise.
Wish us luck on October 30th.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. 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 Boop.